Hey, it's me. I'm back. I'm on the web at tdjacobs.com. My name is Tom, and I do videos. Um, I'm an evolutionary astrologer at a channel and a medium and an energy worker, and I do all kinds of different things to support you in healing or getting your head straight or both, um, clearing out the past, etc., building a more consciously intentional life that has more sanity in it. That's my job, sanity creation, or try to inspire you to create sanity. So this video is going to be about understanding the importance of the root chakra in your life. And there's something I'm starting January 20th, 2023, that I expect to do several times a year. It's an 8-week or 2-month coaching group, essentially, on root chakra issues. Now, the reason it's called the Root Chakra Incubator, and there's a link in full description in the description of the video below. And how this, why focus on the root? You probably heard for spiritual development, you should move up, and by raising your energy, or even Kundalini, or whatever terms people might use in their practices and their traditions, that you achieve enlightenment. There's something really important in the teachings that I offer about inhabiting your body fully and clearing out the past to build a sane foundation from the root, or the first chakra, the bottom up. These teachings come from Hermes, Ascended Master, also known as Ascended Master Jehudi, Thoth, Toth, Saint Germain Merlin, and I've been doing this for quite a while with this being, bringing these teachings through, and for a while I taught a class called Intuitive Skills Development for several years. I taught, I don't know, 10 or 12 rounds of it or something. And what I noticed is that basically working through issues related to each of the chakras from 1 up to 7, and clearing stuff, doing meditations, energy work, all kinds of different things. But actually, at that point, I wasn't doing energy work. That was like, I don't know, 2011 to 2015 or something like that. But what I noticed is everybody needed more time on the root. So they started changing how the class worked, because I thought, I need to be a better teacher to help them with their root issues. Okay, great. So let's focus more. And now every week gets 1 week, every chakra gets 1 week, but the root chakra gets 2 weeks. Okay. And talking a lot about these issues, and that wasn't enough either. So at the end of that round, I was like, I got to figure something else out. And what ended up coming was the chakra course. And I offer it in 2 parts, chakras 1 through 3, because the lower chakras are so important to develop sanity and strength and confidence and clear out the past. And those are the denser parts of the energy field. And we're told, again, remember, we're often told we have to move up to advance spiritually. But if your root's out of whack, if you don't feel like you belong on the planet, if you feel like the family you were born into was wrong, the wrong family, and you resent this and you're still really hurt by this betrayal or that abandonment or whatever, that is in your foundation. So what I realized is people need time and space. And so I made the chakra course and say, hey, buy part 1 first, work through the lower chakras over and over and over again, right? Till you really feel you've made a difference. And then go to the upper chakras, because those are going to be easier once you have the solid foundation of the lower 3. So this has been going on, the chakra course has been going on since, I guess, 2016, which, this is 2022. That's a long time, I guess. It's just part of what I offer, part of what I teach and do. So I encourage people to do that. Now, somebody recently reminded me that in the root chakra MP3, the first of the 3 in that set, I say, which I hadn't heard in a long time, and I say something like, look, if you're not feeling good about this thing I'm saying right now, do not proceed to chakra number 2. Like, do this over and over again until you clear this thing, this belief about whatever, safety, security, whatever it is in the root. Somebody reminded me of that, and I said, yeah, wow, right. That's why I made the chakra course. So what I'm doing now is I'm still emphasizing the lower chakras, but I want to do this thing called the Root Chakra Incubator. And I'm really excited about it, because whether it's family issues, food issues, body image issues, safety in the body, something like I don't belong, I don't feel like I should be here, I'm just trying to get back to source, but I don't want to kill myself. These are root chakra issues that are very serious, right? All mommy and daddy issues, all family of origin issues, all heritage, ancestry, community issues, I was even doing a reading for somebody yesterday who just feels very different. A trans person with, I pointed out, even if you were in a, because of the root situation, even if you were in a community of trans people who were just like you, so more or less, you'd still feel different because this thing needs to be healed. This root chakra, thing about being accepting here, being comfortable in the body, feeling secure in who you are, having self-confidence, right? This all starts in the root. And every problem in our lives, if we go back to the root and build from the root up to the second to the third to the fourth, we do that, there are effective solutions to heal everything if we go back to the root. But again, it's counter to what a lot of us has learned on our spiritual paths. So the Root Chakra Incubator is going to be, it's an 8-week process. The first week is an intro week, and there's a lot of teachings on the root and issues and how to heal stuff. The weeks 2 through 8, so the last 7 of the 8 weeks, each participant has 3 private coaching calls with me, like 3 half-hour coaching calls with me. And each is a half an hour, and they're not shared with the other participants. If you're familiar with the setup of the Pluto and Healing Intensive webinar, I have all the readings available to all the people, and they learn and blah, blah, blah. But the readings in the Root Chakra Incubator are going to be private, but there are going to be group calls the last 7 weeks where people can share notes. So you don't have to share personal things about your childhood or what was going on at home or what is, whatever it is, all these difficult issues in the root. So anyway, personal attention to work through things. And I work with your birth chart, with your spirit guides, with the Ascended Master I work with. And then we can share notes and learn about the root in general, putting attention on the root. So anyway, I'm excited about this. It starts January 20th. I hope that you will check it out and join me. We're gonna have a few dozen people in this group, and it's going to be only 8 weeks long. So it's a coaching thing where you're getting personal attention, you're learning within a group about the root and how to heal these issues. And that's going to include, by the way, stuff about the model of soul that I work with, because we can't be born into a family or even taken into a different family after birth without soul level contracts being in place. So I'll be explaining how that works, because we have to fill in the gaps of our root to know that what we've experienced serves our journey, including the family we're born into. And if that was hard, it was difficult, if there were neglect or abuse or anything else that was just confusing or hard or difficult, anything, maybe not extreme, but something that made you think about yourself in a certain way that's not healthy now, I guess that's a good broad way to say it. We can go back to the root and fill in the gaps and help you understand why, given your soul's journey, why that's the right situation for you to be born into and or raised by. So most people, let's just continue talking about the root here. We don't talk about it a lot. We don't think about it a lot. We talk about getting grounded. A lot of traditions talk about that. But to actually work through in an intentional, conscious way root chakra issues, because they're denser, think about the root is activated at birth and up until about age 6, when the 6 or 7, when the second chakra is activated, and you start having relationships outside your family. That's the kind of idea. I steal that from Carolyn Mace. That's a very useful way she explains this. And so age 0 to 6 or 7, you're defined by your family, root chakra, right? And those traditions and what we do and how we pray and what we think about the world and how we respond to things, and what we think people are for, who God is, like whatever. You're surrounded by this universe, right? Well, some of those ages, you're preverbal, you're pre-rational. You're just a little noise and poop machine who needs constant care, absorbing energies. I'm not trying to malign all babies by saying that, but basically you're born helpless and clueless, and you are nurtured by these people, these energies, and you absorb their energies. So some of these root chakra issues come down to needing to deal with either deep-seated or buried emotions where there are not words. So when you and I, as adults and seeking counseling, wisdom, therapy, spiritual guidance, whatever, if we're not going through the denser feelings, if we're not processing through those difficult things, we're not doing the work the way it needs to be done. And what I see in my practice all the time is amazing people who are doing work on healing childhood stuff, life stuff, past life stuff, whatever. And they have done so much work, and this thing comes up again. And they say, but I thought I did this. Or they say, some of them say, maybe I didn't do it well. Maybe I did it wrong. Maybe I only did half as much. And I say that, as we're progressing in our lives, the more that we unlock, the deeper we go. So it's normal to have different layers containing certain things, right, that overlap. Like, I don't feel supported. Well, that was mom at age 2, it was dad at age 10, whatever. We can go down through ages back to, back to birth, essentially, and then to other lives. So people do amazing work, but if we don't get into that root chakra space with its logic, remember, when it's activated, you're helpless and clueless. So we have to go into the root in a different mindset. It's not the same as the other chakras. It's not the same as the second chakra, where you're learning from people, with people. You're learning about who you are. Do I define myself by how this person treats me or doesn't treat me? Right? Third chakra, self-esteem. I mean, these are all related, which is why I bundle the 3 lower chakras together in one set of the chakra course. But it's a completely different world. It's like a murky path through a foggy forest to our adult selves. And then we say, oh, I don't want to deal with this, or, oh, okay, I'll forgive my mom. And then we might even earnestly work toward forgiving the mom. But it doesn't mean the kid has been met. So the Root Chakra Incubator, I want to give you that opportunity to have space held for you and to receive individual guidance while you learn about all these issues. On the page on my website for the Root Chakra Incubator, there's a list. I don't know if it's 15 or things. Like who is this for? Or what kind of issues might a person bring to this? And it's a lot. And I was telling somebody, that list could have 40 things. If I just keep thinking about it, I'll keep adding details, but categories of any unprocessed childhood stuff, or any, stuff about abuse, stuff about adoption, stuff about loss in the family. Actually, this isn't in there. Loss in the family that isn't that wasn't processed. Or I did talk about unprocessed emotions in other people that come down through generations, or from your own parents or caregivers, where you might feel responsible for them. You might feel a responsibility for ancestral karma. Hint, hint, don't do that. We'll come to the incubator, we'll unravel that. But anyway, there's a whole list of things where you can see, is this for me? Do I have any of these things? Also, a few weeks ago, I shaved off my goatee. And if you've read the Soul's Journey trilogy of books, in the 3rd book, I talk about integrating a past life self who could help me with marketing. At a certain point in, I guess, 2010, I was just kind of like, I don't want to, even on this video I came on, I didn't say my full name. I'm just tired of saying my name. Geez, I'm just tired of marketing. So anyway, in 2010, I growing the business and really needing to grow the business and get myself out there more, I said, is there an other life self, a past life self, but I often call them other life selves, who could help me with the marketing thing? I want to call that part back and integrate it and really tap into his or her wisdom and take advantage of these skills or whatever. This part came back, who's basically a drill sergeant, who's in the military, who was a drill sergeant, but I don't know what the term would be in this particular culture. It's in Northern Europe, the 19th century. And every time I looked in the mirror for months, I would have the impulse to shave my goatee. And he was like, yeah, shave it off. And I finally said, why? And he said, so then you'll see the beginning of the double chin and you'll go to the gym every day like I'm telling you. So anyway, for 12 years, I didn't shave it. I just shaved it. So I'm actually really self-conscious because of this. And but anyway, the point is, a client a few months ago, I was talking about going into mediumship space where you can do anything. You can be 20 feet tall, you can have 6 arms, whatever. And then coming back and saying, why am I in this fat suit? It feels weird. And she said, yeah, I kind of have that too, like, because she's doing intuitive work as well. And so I kind of had a little joke about why am I in this fat suit, offering a class about that, channeling Jehudi, healing work, whatever. And I feel really good about doing this workshop that can include that. Weight issues, like being in the body, comfort, safety, being in the body. That's part of what is welcome and germane in the Root Chakra Incubator. So anyway, I'm just sitting here. I was like sitting here before I hit the record button. I'm like, am I really going to record this? Just being so, vain with my Libra Venus on the ascendant. And I mean, you can't tell because I always wear gray t-shirts and whatever. But anyway, so I decided to risk it just to get a video out there because it's been a long time. And I really want to tell you about this thing and have you be able to plan to start this on January 20th with your schedule and your finances, etc. So anyway, so we have to go to the root and then build up. That's the logic of Hermes, Jehudi, Saint Germain, Thoth, Merlin, because, and the way he describes it is to have the solid pyramid of the lower three chakras, and then on top of that, the upper four chakras relax open in their own rhythms. So the work is in the lower chakras. And among the three lower chakras, the most important work is in the root. Even just think about this logic, like self-esteem issues. Where do they come from? If you feel like you don't deserve something, where does it come from? It probably comes from your childhood and the root. It probably comes from ancestral stuff that's in your home or attitudes of your parents. Like, God bless everybody, but your soul asks for a kind of incubator as a child for your soul's journey to learn about what life is like as a person. That's one of the responsibilities that families have, is to show you a model of being human, or certain models, or certain ways of living. And so what about relationship issues? Do you know anybody who's dating or married to somebody who's like one of their parents? Hint, hint. I am. My girlfriend is with somebody who's like one of her parents. Anyway, we all do that. Why do we do that? Because in the second chakra, our reflections from others are shaped by the history of the root. So anyway, we always go back to the root. And in a certain channel thing that Judy talks of Jehudi doing this this story about grounding and tiger iron and the root chakra, and he says it's kind of become a cliche, kind of a joke, but if you're with a counseling type person or a therapist and you're talking about your relationship, the professional person might say, hey, tell me about your relationship with your mom, right? Whatever you're saying, here's a second chakra problem, we go back to the root over and over. So anyway, that's the logic of the chakra course and how I teach all this stuff. So if you've done work with me or you have the chakra course and you're like, is this right for me? Let me just say a couple of things. Some people who do this will then just go into the rest of the chakra course, right? Some people will do that and then opt for like the higher self protocol where we learn to talk to guides. This process of beginning in the root is central to all the spiritual teaching that I do. And higher self protocol 1 leads to protocol 2. Then there's mediumship as a third class in the series. Obviously, they're both optional. But if you want to learn to talk to your guides, you have to go to your root. Some people will teach you to just go up in your 6th, 7th chakra or whatever. But if you're not grounded, how can you trust what you're getting? If you're not grounded, if you're not in your body, if you haven't learned how to deal with the kind of root chakra fears that live in the lower, the kind of fears that live in the root chakra and the lower chakras, how can you trust yourself? How do I know? I get this all the time from students. Well, how do I know if guidance comes through and I how do I know if it's a guide or if it's me? And the answer is you learn the vibration of which is your brain versus which is a guide, but you can only do that by going into the root and cleaning up a bunch of old vibrations and old situations. Sorry, I just realized I think I have a class in a few hours, and I just realized I have my higher self protocol 1 class tonight where I'm going to teach them how to read each other for the first time. Anyway, I just realized I didn't know what time it was. I thought my day was clear. Anyway, I had to cancel because I was sick and blah, 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 whatever. Anyway, that's why I'm so distracted. I should end this video because now I need to go deal with details and be in my root for a moment. Anyway, thanks for your time and energy. Check out the chakra course. Check out Programmed Tiger Iron to get you in your body, check out Higher Self Protocol, check out the Root Chakra Incubator, which is going to be an all-purpose thing for a lot of people. So even if you've gone through my Higher Self Protocol course, come back to the root and really get down in there. This doesn't mean it's not for you because you've taken the Higher Self Protocol course, or years ago, the Intuitive Skills Development course. And the support that's going to occur during the Root Chakra Incubator is going to be quite valuable, even if you have worked with a chakra course before. Okay, good. Thanks for your time and energy. Check out what I'm up to at tdjacobs.com. That's TD like the darndest, JACOBS.com. And I'm Tom Jacobs. There, I can say my name again. Take care.